Ooh, grab your friends, it's time to vibe. Come together, feel that rise. Watch the game while the beat flows. At the sports bar where anything goes. Laughter and joy, we're in the zone. On the swivel at the sports bar. Cheering loud, feeling like a star. Good times left in every score. On the swivel, come back for more. Come back for more. Tasty treats and soulful sounds. Feel the rhythm is where joy's found. Ooh, with every cheer we come alive. Come on in, let's thrive and jive. In this moment we find our groove. On the swivel at the sports bar. Cheering loud, feeling like a star. Good times left in every score. On the swivel, come back for more. Ooh, come back for more. Ooh, come back for more. Tasty treats and soulful sounds. Feel the rhythm, it's where joy's found. Ooh, with every cheer we come alive. Come on in, let's thrive and jive. In this moment we find our groove. Ooh, on the swivel at the sports bar. Cheering loud, feeling like a star. Good times left in every score. On the swivel, come back for more. Swing on by, don't miss the fun. At the sports bar, the best begun. Ooh, come back for more. 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 Come back for more.
Well, welcome. Hey, you're on the swivel at the sports bar. R-Pain here. Hey, listen, this is the 49th episode, so we just keep it going every week. Every so often some fellas come up, but if not, we just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. So here's a disclaimer, because I use a lot of videos and stuff, and I'm gonna continue to do that unless YouTube tells me not to. So anyway, here's a copyright disclaimer. Everything is fair use. All right, so we're in the midst of football season. So we're getting into the second half of the season. We break it up into kind of quarters. So hey, listen, I think we're going into week number 10. And so things are starting to shape up. Some teams are starting to separate themselves. So here we go. I mean, football is football, and some of the games are very exciting, going down to the wire. Anyway, last week, I didn't really see any major upsets. I think a lot of teams are evenly matched, even though if you're a betting person, you got odds and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not even playing the odds. I'm just saying straight up, any team could have beat another team, right? Kansas City is like always favored in their games, but they're playing kind of sloppy ball. They're just bringing it. They're bringing it home when they need to. So I think it's going to be very difficult for them to go undefeated for the regular season, not especially for the whole thing. So if they're going to get a loss or two, they need to get that out before the playoffs. They need to get, and I think Patrick Mahomes is a little hurt now. He was slow getting up. So, but okay. And then in the NFC, I think the Lions are starting to separate themselves, which is cool. So we might have a different showdown, because San Francisco looked like they took a couple of steps back. Purdy might have to get reevaluated as if that's who you really want to pay the big money to. He might be in like the kind of Dak Prescott realm. They paid Dak. I think he's making like 60 mil a year or something like that. And he certainly does not look like a 60 mil a year quarterback. So that's for sure. Hey, what's going on, Catellia? We're just over here getting started. So I think Dak and I think Purdy's falling into that thing because he's looking like he's taking a step back. So that's my observation. Anyway, so let's hear what Colin Cowherd has to say about just his general feelings in Week 9. I used to follow this guy a lot more than I do now. So, but let him talk. He's got a pretty good analysis.
New Jersey is leading the nation in clean energy investments with one thing in mind: you.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but Matt Eberflus, the Bears head coach, since he's been in Chicago as the head coach, on the road, if the game is played on Sunday, the Bears are 0-18. That doesn't feel promising to me. I said Philly and Washington are going to make the playoffs. Washington's going to be the surprise team. I said Dallas, you're going to see a slight regression with the Cowboys, and they may win 9 or 10. They won't make the playoffs. My bad. They may win 6. Dak at one point was caught saying on camera, "We suck," as he was on the sidelines. He's saying, "We blanking suck." They do. It's a bad football team. They're like a day trader that's on a bit of a hot streak, but it's not sustainable. The roster's great. Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, David Lee Roth, and jumping over people. There is a way in this sport to coach a game, A, when you lead, and B, when you lead with a clearly better roster. But what Philadelphia is doing, it's just crazy, unnecessary risks when you have the better roster and a lead. They're starting to win in spite of their head coach. This was just about great coach, Sean McVay, great quarterback, Matt Stafford, and a really good rookie safety for the LA Rams. They willed their way to win. Couldn't run the ball, ugly first half, special teams blunder, Puka gets ejected. There was a dozen reasons to lose this game. I like Green Bay, and I really like Jordan Love. But he looked young, they look young, he is young, they are young, and they got humbled yesterday.
They sure did.
Big brother showing little brother how it's done. Weather wasn't great, but Detroit handled it fine.
All right, so that was just quick. And, wish he had some more analysis, but that's it. I just think that's where we are. So we're going into Week 10. And tomorrow, the Bengals are playing the Ravens. And the Bengals actually, believe it or not, after such a horrible start, they're like one game. They're right in that 7th spot, at 4-5. So they're not out of it. I just thought they might be, but they're not out of it. So I got a few more get week highlights of Week 9. I like to just play some football just in case people didn't catch them. Maybe they'll see a play that they missed, just kind of, I don't know where my fellas are at, but that's cool.
Week 9 of the NFL was absolute madness. You had everything from headstand celebrations to inhuman plays, to players crashing out after losing to the Panthers. Let's talk about it. Kicking off Thursday Night Football, you had the Texans and the Jets. And Garrett Wilson, my goodness, what planet are you from? The Jets were going to win this game. The Falcons were going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are absolutely disappointing this year, dropping down to 3-5. Las Vegas and Cincinnati.
Well, first of all, you know what? Dallas is worse than just disappointing. I mean, they're very, very bad. I don't see them coming out of this.
Cincinnati absolutely blew the doors off of Las Vegas. Joe Burrow would throw 5 touchdowns. Joe Burrow, go crazy then. The Patriots were going to lose an overtime thriller to the Tennessee Titans, and even though their record might not reflect it, Drake May is legit. The Commanders beat the Giants, improving to 7-2 for the first time since 1996. The Carolina Panthers, led by Bryce Young, would beat the New Orleans Saints, causing the entire team and fan base to crash out everywhere, from players on social media to them firing their coach. Prayers for Saints fans, because you guys are going through it right now. The Philadelphia Eagles will come out on top of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I mean, just look at this play. It is absolutely insane. The Detroit Lions came out on top of the Green Bay Packers, proving why they are the #1 team in the NFC.
All right, that was quick. All right, well, some highlights. All right, so listen. So here's the 5 games I picked out that'll be interesting to watch this Sunday. Well, Thursday Night Football is the Ravens and the Bengals. I'll tell you what, if the Ravens don't come to play, they could lose that game. Even though the Bengals are reeling, I think the Ravens play down to the competition, and I think the Bengals don't have a good record against Lamar Jackson. they're due to win one of these games. And I'm just not so sure the Ravens keep their head in the game week in and week out because they know, just like the rest of us, that people are just wanting to see how they play in the playoffs, So I don't know. But Lamar Jackson is going for another MVP season, but I think he'd give all of that up for at least one Super Bowl. I think so. At least get in there. 49ers are playing the Bucs. It's a good chance the Bucs might win that game. They're in Tampa Bay. The Steelers and the Commanders, that's probably going to be a very, very good game. I think I'm going to try to watch that. I watched a lot of my games on the Red Zone channel. I might want to watch more of that particular game. The Eagles play the Cowboys. That could have been a good game, but I think the Cowboys are playing so poorly now that, the Eagles just might, wipe the floor with them. And then, of course, the Texans and the Lions. Actually, that might be a better game than people think. The Steelers for the win. I forgot you're a big Steelers fan. Let me tell you, that game, is going to be tough for the Steelers to win. It just depends on how well Russell Wilson plays. And they say the Steelers got this great defense, but, the Commanders are pretty damn slick. So we'll see what happens. That's a good game to watch. That's for sure. Anyway, the Texans and the Lions, I think the Lions will win that game, but they can't sleep on the Texans and a young quarterback. So that's good. So college football, I still usually only get into it during the playoffs. But here's the top 10 ranking, by AP. And so, people are moving up. Number one is still number one. Georgia, Ohio State moved up. Miami, Florida moved up. And it'd be nice to see them make the Final Four. I mean, I remember the old days where Miami was a powerhouse. It looks like they're trying to get some of those old bones back without two live crew involved. Texas, Penn State. So, I mean, you can see the top 10 there. And really, the deeper we get into the season, it's really the top four that really matters because I think it's still four for the win, So that's how I look at it. What else is going on? All right. Oh, you like Ohio State? Yeah, they look good. I think they look good this weekend. Ohio did. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see those four in it. We'll see what happens. Let me move this out of the way. Your brother. Well, your brother went to Ohio State, or he lives in Ohio. So anyway, okay. So here's the games this week. I just plucked these out. They say these are the top 5 games. Duke, okay, Miami and Florida and Georgia, Texas A&M and South Carolina. Man, I'm probably not going to watch any of these games. Not really. But big football fans. I mean, if you're a college football fan, every week in, week out, there's so many games on TV. So there you have it. So I say you can immerse yourself in football, chicken wings, beer, all that 9 yards. Like I said, I'm one of those fair weather guys who like to see the playoffs and maybe a couple of choice games that just catch my fancy on a given Saturday if I don't have anything else to do. I'm a pro football guy. All right, so I'm moving over to the NBA. We're kind of just getting started, but here's the top 10 plays in the NBA. After the commercial.
Plymouth Rock, I never wonder if I'm covered for home and auto.
More savings.
I got to get rid of some.
15 games of hoops on a Monday. The Boats are in. We got your top 10 right here on the NBA.com at number 10. The undefeated Oklahoma City through Aaron Wiggins. Get the impossible shot to drop. Aaron, you can pass. Aaron, sure. Look at him go up and make that shot go down. That's it, number 10. Moving along to number 9. And Evan Mobley looking like Will Chamberlain just sprint down the court after blocking that shot. He gets the southpaw spike in like that. Evan Mobley playing defense. Evan Mobley playing offense. Nobody can stop him. He's in at number 9. Up the number 8, and Miles Turner turns on the afterburners and just throws this one down over nobody's shot blocker, Luka Doncic. Miles gets himself in there at number 8. We're up to number 7. Close game late of the time of the score. Kevin Durant with a little hesitation, and then he finishes the show. Treating Philly filthy as he gets right to the rim and gently lays that one in at number 7. On to number 6, and keep your eyes on John Morant. Looked like he's going up for the rim rocker, then he just bumps out the helicopter in the air with the right, and then turns around and goes depth with the left. He's in at number 6, and yes,
That
he
was a
will
nice
see him
move.
again. Up to number 5, and John the Baptist welcomes Kobe White to his religion. Huge stuff there. Uses that left, right, the chop before he throws that one down at number 5. On to number 4, we always get off the floor, and it's the highlight machine down in Houston. Jalen Green with the hesitation and the detonation. Carl Anthony Towns can't stop him from throwing down. He's in at number 4. Up to number 3, and we need this more than ever. Late game time running out, but DeMonis is on this. He gets the rebound and the quick putback. And the bonus owns this and gets the Kings the win at number 3. On to number 2, and this is full service Victor Wembanyama. He gets the swat on that shot and then just races the other way and way up in the air by the square, stuff that one down on the alley-oop as he brings the troop from the root CP3 with the pass, and Wembanyama in at number 2, but at number 1. You say you want a revolution? John Morant has the solution up in Brooklyn and doing it again, spinning around and around and getting this one to go down with the left. Again, John Morant, just miraculous on Monday land. That's number 1. I'll leave it. Come on.
Man, that's a nice move that he's got there. You know, sooner or later they're going to pick up on that. But, man, shoot. Anyway. All right, so OKC is 6. Let me see what I have before that. Yeah, the Cavs are 8-0. And they're looking okay. My man Mitchell, I think he's still smaller to take these guys over the top. I'm not going to play the video. It's just really short of him. What did he do? Yeah, let me just go ahead. I got another commercial. God damn it.
Plymouth Rock. I never wonder if I'm covered for home and auto.
More savings.
Mike Salts away every single second. Senior hooks it away. Makes
So that's it. He hit a winning shot. So that's what they wanted to show there. But they're 8-0. Now, I haven't gone back over there who they played in those first 8 games. But 8-0 is 8-0. But I don't know. It's still too early to tell whether they're going to be like a real contender. I'm sure they're going to probably be in the top 4. But I know they're not going to hang on to the top spot. And I'd be very surprised if they do. But their team is getting better. They got a lot of weapons. And but it's still early. You know, of course, there's always a possibility of injury and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's good to see Cleveland actually contending again. But we'll see. We'll see. Same thing with OKC. Now, they're 7-0 now. But the young guys, Gilchrist and the rest of those guys, they got a couple of dudes from the Knicks. You know, so it's early. These 2 teams are number 1. They're still the only 2 undefeated teams in the NBA. And once again, it's very, very early. So it's just something to point out. And here's the record, the standings. What's good in the stand? If you look at the Eastern Conference, right? If you look at the top 10, you know, the top, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The 15 is 500. But if you look in the West, right, all the teams have winning records until you get to the 10th team. So here we are again with the West being a little bit more. It's early to tell, but it seems like the West is a little stronger than the East, right? Because the East have a lot of losing records all the way up to the 10th. So we'll see how that pans out. Again, it's early. It's early. So NBA is just getting started. I think most people really start getting into the NBA during Christmas time, Thanksgiving, Christmas time, when, you know, the wheat starts separating itself from the chaff. I forgot when the in-season tournament is going to start. I got to look that up because I thought last year the in-season tournament was pretty good, and that's when I figured out why they painted the courts a little different to distinguish between in-season games and just regular season games that were outside of the tournament. But I think that, they're definitely going to keep the tournament. They're going to do it again this year. I thought, giving people a trophy, maybe an extra little bit of cash during the season kept it kind of exciting. Of course, LeBron wanted to win the first one, and he did. So we'll see how it goes this time. So I think that's a good thing. WNBA, they're off season. Big Three, they're off season. They had a couple things that they were doing. But we don't need to talk about the Big Three. This is an old thing I just put up there, but I don't want to show it. Baseball's off, but we want to give tribute to LA because they did win since the last time I was up here. So my poor Yankees got their butts whipped. They got their butts whipped. And what else is there? Hockey's off. And I just want to keep those things up. So this is going to be a quick one since one of my fellas came up. Anyway, listen, the NILs, I mean, I didn't know they were paying. I know they were paying a lot of money, but Shador Sanders is making $6 million, and he's still in college. That's a lot. That is pretty damn good. Now, I've seen him play a couple of times, and maybe, I'm not a real big fan. I don't see him play a lot. Is he really that good? That's my thing. Is he really that good? He didn't win the Senate. Okay. So he might go back to the Big Three. Yeah. So how did he get beat bad? Cotillia, did he get beat bad? I don't know. I didn't look. But see, the Republicans still took the Senate back, right? Whether he won or not, they still took the Senate back. So at least he gave it a college try. I mean, listen, Shador Sanders, I don't know. People are saying he might get drafted number 1. Is he really that good? That's why I just don't know. I don't watch him enough, man. I need to go ahead and look at some highlights or something about this guy. Because I get mixed signals, but if they're paying him, I don't know how much is that him or how much is that his daddy's name. Oh man, I'm gonna have a question on the Trump thing, man. People are really tripping out. Anyway, I got something for you. Just stick around. Just stick around for that one. I'm gonna be there. So that's the NIL. Now, what do you think about this trophy for Dwayne Wade? We'll tell you what Barkley thinks. I've seen this before, but it's worth looking at again. Oh, yeah, I know. It was. Actually, I'm going to watch this one.
The Mavs and Timberwolves followed by the Bulls and Golden State. TNT NBA tip-off presented by Colorado.
That is very disrespectful. Listen, I ain't kidding. You are correct. Yeah. I mean, they won't be eliminated until at least Christmas.
Well, by the way, we're welcome to the show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley, and in one of the weirdest coincidences of all time. What's that? We all dressed as Dwayne Wade for Halloween. Is that amazing?
Are you saying
Yeah.
it looks like an animated. That's how did a great job.
That's so funny.
But obviously a great honor for D.
Hey, what's going on, Coach Frank?
That thing down.
Oh,
Not
you
animated.
made an animated face and then they made a broad.
That's what it would look like. That thing's awful.
That's enough of that. Hey man, what's going on, Coach Frank? How you doing, man? I love you. Come up with that. I tell you, that is a horrible thing. I sent you the link. I don't know if you just passed it through or not. So just let me know. Because I'm almost done with this thing. Now, I don't know. This is really crazy. This slide here. Hold on for a second. Let me do this. Oh man. Yeah, just in case, man, if anybody who wants to, I just put the link in there. This particular these guys from Outkick are funny, right? So they got this funny take, about this is about LeBron and of course the president said something. I got to go through this commercial, but it's fun.
Plymouth Rock. I never wonder if I'm covered for home and auto.
More savings.
I saw this story and I loved it. Donald Trump last night, I mentioned that I watched the show on Hannity. I thought it went well. Iowa Town Hall with President Trump. And Trump said, and I believe it was in the Iowa Town Hall with Hannity. It might have been earlier in the day in Iowa, but I think it was the town hall. Trump said, as a way to ridicule and mock men who decide to identify as women, Trump said he would love if LeBron would decide to become a woman and he could coach LeBron in the women's basketball and go find 4 or 5 other guys and they would create. He said he would be the greatest women. It's absurd that this could ever have become a reality, but I think that's going to happen at some point, and that the money might well dictate that it makes sense. Remember, only 30 guys get drafted every year.
All right, so let me stop him there. He's going on this little rant to say that maybe, because of this whole transgenderism thing, they might actually get a top 5 guys who want to be girls, right? Even if they're like the 1,000 player for the men, put on dresses and go play in the WNBA. It's never going to happen, okay? I don't care how bad it gets. And now that Trump is back in the White House, I think we're going to see a big major reset on all of this DEI and all of this transgenderism thing. It's going to be a 4-year, 10 steps back, and not too soon, So hopefully we'll see how it all plays out. But we're not going to have no men in the WNBA. It's not going to happen. Okay, so I that's where he was going with this. So let me just kind of save everybody time. He's just having fun talking about it, but that's not going to happen. All right, Stephen A. Smith, Gerald Embiid gets suspended because he actually puts his hands on a reporter. Now, I don't know why this reporter started taking it out of basketball. And he said something about his son. He said something about his wife or his girlfriend or whoever she was. And since Embiid is not having a good season at all, he put his hands around the dude's neck. He didn't quite do a Latrell Sprewell, but he actually, he's getting suspended for 3 games without pay. And so I guess that's got to be close to maybe $300,000. That's a serious fine for these guys because they make so much money. So I don't know what would make him want to touch a reporter. I don't care how mad the dude gets you. You big anyway. The reporter must have been frightened out of his mind, this 6'10" dude, man, with his hands around his neck. So I don't know. I'm surprised the guy ain't trying to press charges. I didn't see it. Maybe I'm gonna look up and see if they had some film on it. I don't know if anybody else saw it, but Joel Embiid is he's having a tough year this year. I don't know if he caught his girl cheating or something. I don't know, but Philly is not going to get over the hump, and I think they just got the PG-13, right? I think he's on their team now. And I don't think it's making that much of a difference. Of course, they're going to be competitive, but are they going to be able to beat the Celtics to get into the championship? I don't know. It's just like maybe the Clippers just moved to the Eastern Conference. Hey, how you doing, Abby? Okay. And my daughter just came home from work. Anyway, so I got where I'm at now. So I'm moving right along because it's just me. Okay, so here's my questions. Now, and we don't have to get into it. Ain't nobody here to talk to, but I wanted to know how people were feeling after the election. What's the general, and it's, I say you, but I meant your general mood. Let me fix it on the fly. What's your general, I mean, what's the actual general mood after the election? I've been talking people off the ledge all day long. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about you, but we got a whole bunch of people with the Trump deranged syndrome, and they think the world's going to come to an end and blah, blah, blah. I think some of that's Kamala's fault for taking so long to concede. But, you know, so today is one of those days everybody should just breathe, relax. You can't be upset for 4 years just because you didn't win the election. However, there's one person I want you guys to see, right? And maybe you guys could give me a prescription, or could give me a prescription on what this lady needs. Okay, let me go ahead and just share that for a second. Poor baby. I really feel sorry for her. You know, no, I don't. I think it's funny as hell.
I'm sorry. No.
I gotta play it 101.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. That is so funny. I tell you what. Oh, poor baby. She's I guess she is going viral, man. I know, you know, I saw that. I just, first of all, the laugh track is bad enough. And then when I start laughing, then people think I'm the one on the laugh track. I think that shit is just so funny. Oh my God. You know, and if she's acting, I mean, you know, I think half of it is an act, but I think there's people who really tripping like that. They're really tripping that hard because my man won. Oh man, it's just too much. The other thing is Kansas City. They're winning ugly. And I don't know whether they're going to get out the regular season without a 1 or 2 losses. And if they're going to lose some games, they need to do it now. You know? Yeah, I know. Yeah, some of these games are acting. She's doing a good job, but as crazy as people are getting over this election, that could be, some of that could be real. But that's, no matter what, if she wanted views and clicks, congratulations, she's getting them. That's for sure. That's the #1 video, I bet. All right. So then, of course, I asked a question about Sanders. You know, my man Ferg said he really is that good. I gotta check him out a little bit more. Other than that, so this was a short day today. I got some more stuff I got to do after this. You know, it's a tough day. The real good part of the day was not just the election. The market just like took off, right? You know, and I would imagine it's probably going to give some back tomorrow. But oh man, it was good to see all that green on the leaderboard. Man, Jesus Christ, you know. So I just think that it wasn't because of Trump. I think people just wanted all this election stuff to be over and give the country some kind of direction on where we're going into. The market doesn't like uncertainty. And so now we know what's happening. Anyway, with that, what else do I have? Boxing on this weekend. All right, thank you, Catilia. Boxing, we got a couple of rounds this Saturday. I think the 9th is Saturday, yeah. Ennis, that's a good fight. So I'm gonna see if I can catch that one if it's not on pay-per-view. Mike Tyson is still on, so on the 15th. Davis is on, but that's in December. I mean, almost at the end of the year. We got Thanksgiving coming up, and then Christmas. You know, it's my time of year, so I can just relax. And of course, Tyson Fury's rematch. And with that, you know, a disclaimer for the videos, and I probably got to go through and get those daggone commercials out of there. Maybe I might or may not edit it. And of course, that's the end. I appreciate you coming up and keeping me company. Cotillia, I know Ferg came up. I know he's got the other sports show coming on. And so this one is just going to be short. And what time is it? I'm going to take a break because I'm going to be back on, what's it, Real Precious. She has a podcast, and we usually have something starting like 9:15. It's a men's panel. I don't know if you've ever been over there on Real Precious's panel. I don't know what the subject is today, so I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit about everything. So, and with that, I'm gonna just play my part in music, and then we're gonna be out of here. So, thanks for stopping by, keeping me company, and until next time, next Wednesday. I'm just making my plans for how I'm gonna update and kind of move through the new year, get some more folks involved, some new faces and all that kind of stuff for the sports show. But right now, I'm just like kind of having a good time, even just keeping this thing alive, moving forward, and having something to do that's my own. So I appreciate just doing that. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the outro music, that's for sure. I'm gonna hit the outro music. All right, so take it easy, and we'll see you over on, if not later on tonight, but definitely some before the end of the week on the Barbershop Talk. Later on. Have a good night.
Grab your friends, it's time to play. Join the fun, we're here all day. Watch the game with drinks in hand. On the swivel, let's take a stand. On the edge of our seats, we live for the thrill. In this moment together, we're feeling the chill. So here's to the laughter as we gaze at the stars. We say goodnight from the swivel at the sports bar. In the flicker of the screens where our spirits ignite, let's cherish this time as we fade into light. Tasty bites and big screen thrills. Every moment gives you chills. High fives and cheers, it's quite a sight. Join the crowd, it feels so right. As the game goes on, our hearts beat as one. Memories in the making, oh, this night's just begun. So here's to the laughter as we gaze at the stars. We say goodnight from the swivel at the sports bar. In the flicker of the screens where our spirits ignite, let's cherish this time as we fade into light. So good night, my friends, till we meet again.